Hello everyone. I see a few people hopping on. Let me know who's here. Say hi. Don't be shy. How are you all today? Not seeing any comments yet. I wonder if my comments are working or if you're all just being shy, not wanting to say who's watching. Oh, there's Denise. Hi, Denise. How are you? Hi, Arnetta. How are you? Watching on YouTube. That's great. Thanks for tuning in. Bowie. Did you say Bowie or Bowie? I know with David Bowie, some people say David Bowie and some people David Bowie. I always said David Bowie, but I'm not sure if I was saying that right. I am good. I have to apologize before we start that there might be some noise today going on in our normally quiet neighborhood. There's a tree removal company outside, and they're taking down some redwood trees. So when our neighborhood was built back in the early 90s, the developer specified that he wanted all these redwood trees planted. They're coastal redwoods. Hello, Jeanne. Nice to see you. Thank you for typing out your name like that so we know how to pronounce it. It's a little bit like my name, actually, from Oregon. Anyway, the developer wanted all these coastal redwoods planted. And the problem is they're planted in the front lawns in grass. And so it only really gets shallow watering, never really deep watering. And I mean, I'm not really a tree expert, but I just think they're not really, they don't really belong. They're coastal redwoods, and of course we're not coastal, and we have these long, hot, dry summers, and so if we have a bad windstorm, sometimes the tops come off of some of them. We've got a few in the neighborhood. We've got I think something like 150 in just the front yards, and then not to mention people have got them in their backyards too. So gradually, some people are deciding to take them down before they fall down, on their homes or something. So we have big branches that fall off sometimes, and like I say, there's a few of them that the top has come down. So anyway, I don't. Oh yeah, I see him at the moment. The guy, he's backing up, and of course Tally's asleep at the moment, I think. But of course, if she sees stuff going on outside, then she'll start to bark. So anyway, I apologize in advance if you hear some noise in the background, but that's what's going on. Hopefully it won't be too bad. They're not actually doing the soil. I think they're actually done with I think the tree is down, and now they're just kind of clearing up, hopefully. Hi Louisa, good to see you. I'm great, thank you. So anyway, happy March, everybody. It's the 1st of March today. And of course, celebration is over. We've got a new month. This month is my anniversary month. 4th of March actually is my 11-year anniversary with Stampin' Up. So when is the 4th? That's 1, 2, it'll be Saturday, right? So that's my anniversary. So I'm trying to do some fun stuff throughout the month to celebrate. And starting off with today with the Silly Goose cards. So I'll show you those in a minute. But there's lots of other new things going on in Stampin' Up. We've got brand new products that are available to purchase today for customers and for demonstrators. They're online exclusives, so they're online only. So if you go, and I'll show you some of those. Hello, Christine. That's okay. So I will show you some of those products that you may have already seen some demonstrators using them, but there are, if you go to the Stampin' Up website and click on what's new, you'll see all the new products that are available. So there's some fun stuff. There's some really cool new dies, and there's a rhino stamp set with some funny sayings, and there's 2 circle punches that they brought back. So that's kind of what's cool about the online products, is that Stampin' Up can bring back some products that were popular and went away. Sorry if you can hear that noise, that's the guy in his big truck. Because our catalogs are scheduled and produced, months, if not years in advance. So it's hard for Stampin' Up just to bring out some new product that's on trend or bring something back that was popular. But they're going to be doing these online exclusives every few months where they can do that. And there's even some returning colors coming back, so it's quite exciting. What else? I've got some projects to show you that we did on our team meeting the other night. And oh my gosh, now it's noisy. Can you hear that? I'm sorry. And what else? I'm starting a kit fundraiser, and I'll have a video that I'll be posting. I'm working on a video talking about that and showing you some of the kits. So I'll be posting that probably tonight or tomorrow. And some of you may remember I did a fundraiser last year where I made sunflower cards, and that was to raise money for Ukraine, and I raised $1,000. So that was amazing. So I'm doing a fundraiser this year for the people of the earthquake victims of Turkey and Syria. And I'm doing a kit fundraiser, so I'll have more information about that soon. So watch out on my Facebook page for that. So and some new products to show you. So lots of stuff going on. So let me turn you down to my desk here. Oh, thank you, Denise. Yeah, I thought about doing cards, but it was definitely a labor of love. It was quite labor intensive. My husband helped me. And so I thought I would do kits this time, and I'm going to donate all of my profit from each kit to the same organization. But like I say, I'll have more information about that coming soon. So let's go down here. Let me turn off this. So I've just ordered myself a new light. I'm very excited. It hasn't shipped yet, but I'm hoping by next week I might have it, because you know how I'm always fiddling around trying to get the lights just right. And I've ordered a new one, which I think is going to solve all my problems. Or hopefully it will anyway. So here are the Silly Goose cards. There's 4 goose images on the stamp set, so I did 1 per card, but I did the same design for each one. So I'll show you these quickly, and then before I show you how to make them, I will have a few other things to show you. Goosebumps, isn't that cute? And this one. So before we start on those, and of course I've got a frog. I always seem to get a frog in my throat when I start doing this. I wanted to show you the projects that we've made in our team meeting the other night. So we used these, grab them quickly. We used these Memories and More cards. These are actually designed originally for scrapbooking. It's kind of an easy scrapbooking system where you get these sheets of sheet protectors that go into a binder with different sized pockets, and they're sized for these cards to go in. And you can put these in, and Thank you, Christine. I think she's talking about the goose. She says they're really cute. I think she's talking about the goose cards, I'm sure. But you can slip these into the pockets and write on them, and then you can put photos in some of the pockets. But they make really great cards. You get a bunch of, in one pack of these, you get 50 cards, and you get 2 of each of these little ones. And so some of these you can see you can use as card fronts. And then you get the big ones also. Let's see, there's that one. There's some cute dog ones that you'll see. And then there's these larger ones too. And then you get 2 pages of stickers. So this is half a pack actually. So actually you get 4 pages of stickers. You get 2 of each of these. And then this is just half a pack. So you get double of this. You get 2 of every card. So these stickers are great because you can use these. So there's a happy birthday one. You can just peel that off and stick it on. So you don't even need to stamp. And there's flowers and butterflies and all kinds. And then there are card fronts to match. So you can put, and these are called, oh gosh, I forgot what the memories and more. These are called Enjoy the Adventure. So these are the Enjoy the Adventure memories and more cards, and these are the Enjoy the Adventure cards and envelopes. So there's 2 colors, and so these large cards fit right on here, and then the smaller ones you can have a border around. So that's what we used in our team meeting. I made make and takes for my team, and so let me show you those projects. So we made these 2 cards. Made this one. So there's the little dog that was the sticker. Oh, and here's the envelopes. The envelopes are fun. Got stars in the back, and then they've got the lining. So we made that one, and that's one of the stickers, and that's a sticker too. And then we made this one, and I added some embellishments. And actually this was white. This was the bottom of one of the small cards, and it was white. So I cut it off, and then I drug my mint macaron ink pad over it to make it green. So that was that one. So those were using the actual memories and more note cards. And then we did this one, which was just cut down to a regular card size. So this is one of the small cards, and there's a little butterfly. I put some Wink of Stella on it. And then some other designer series paper. This was the Celebration, the big pack, the Dandy Designs, and some balmy blue cardstock, and just a basic black card base. So they're really fun. You can do so many different things with them. And then this one, now this was, those of you that know who Patty Bennett is and follow her, this was an idea that I kind of stole from her, that she did with some memories and more cards a few years ago. Stampin' Up! Comes out with them every catalogue on a different theme. And this is a gift card holder. So this is how this one works. So these are the small cards, and this is a large one that's cut down to a regular card base size. And then you open it up, and oh, I had a gift card. I guess it fell out. I don't know what happened to the gift card, but there was a gift card in here. And it goes in this pocket. That's a little pocket there that it slides into. And then these are all just stickers. This was actually a speech bubble. There was the little speech bubble part down here on this card. And I just covered that up with the happy birthday because I didn't want the speech bubble part. But then you can write your message in there. And then, like, say your gift card, that's a little pocket. So this was half a card that I cut in half. And then you could decorate the back if you wanted. And you could write on the back. It would make it a bit bulkier if you did that. And then the last thing that we made was this little box. And so this is one of the cards on the front that was just cut down a little bit, and then some stickers. And then inside the box, everybody got a little pack of cookies. Now, what happens is I usually put some kind of candy or cookie in our packages, and most people have eaten it before. Sometimes it's designed to go in a treat holder like this, and most people have eaten it by the time we get to the making days, so they don't have it to go on the tree holder. But anyway, it kind of shows you how that works. And I even put I even lined it with the little card on the bottom too. So we do really fun projects in our team meetings, and I know the big promotion to join has ended yesterday, but it's always a good time to join Stampin' Up. So if you'd like to be a part of my team and do fun projects like this every month, then let me know and I can give you more information. Let's see what else. So let me show you some of the new online exclusive products. Some of you have probably seen these, or if you're a demonstrator, you would have already seen them, I'm sure. And a lot of demonstrators have been using these already, but I haven't had time. So this is a new suite called, I don't know if the suite is called, I think the suite is called Irresistible Blooms or Hello Irresistible. So there's this beautiful paper that I'll show you in a moment, and there's this stamp set. Love the flowers, love the fonts in this, and nice sentiments. I like the thank you and the hello. I couldn't be happier to have you as friend. This is a cling stamp. So this is only available online. It's not in a catalogue. You have to go to stampinup.com to find it. And then here are the matching dies. Love these dies. I've seen some really beautiful cards made with these two dies. And then there's some fun embellishments. And I see a shaker card in my future. These, I'm trying to get the lid off without them going everywhere. These are really pretty. So these are big enough to put on a card. Thank you, Gian. She says cute box. These are large enough to put onto a card, but they're not too tall, so they're bulky. So they would be great for a shaker also. And there's some tiny ones. There's about 3 different sizes. And then there's another paper, which is, let me reach over. This one, this is a 12 by 12 specialty paper, and you get 6 sheets. You get 2 of this gold, 2 of the silver, and then 2 white and copper. That was pretty. So I'm excited to try those out. This paper's really pretty, and the dies, 2 of the flower dies actually cut out these flowers, and then there's a page with leaves on. This one, the leaf dies cut out the leaves also. So it makes card make. I love it when Stampin' Up does that, makes it very easy. I'll just flick through, look how pretty that one is. Flick through and show you some of them. Some really subtle leaves. Some more flowers. I'm assuming that the dies would cut those ones out too, because I think it's the same, it's just a different color. Oops, I love this one. And they've bought, isn't it beautiful? Yes, they've brought back 2 returning colors. So Pretty Peacock, which was a color, an in color a few years ago, they brought that back, and Lost Lagoon. Ooh, look at that one, love that. And the backs are really pretty too, just more. Ooh, and that one's lovely. And that's like the die, one of the dies. So yeah, can't wait to start playing around with these. So maybe I'll be using this on a Facebook Live coming up soon. And then there's some other new products. So hopefully I'll be able to show you some of those next week. But anyway, let's go on to our Silly Goose cards. So these, I'm going to show you how to make them today, but then if you would like a kit to make your own, you just have to place a $35 or more order, and I'll send you a complete kit to make them. And if you up that to a $50 order, you'll get a packet of these gems also. So that's a really good deal. These are $8 usually, so you'll get a free pack of these. You will need the Silly Goose stamp set to complete them. Or if you have a similar stamp set that's got some cute images like this, you could definitely use that also. But you could do this as part of your $35 order maybe and get it. So let me show you, let's get going here. I've done some of the work ahead of time so that I could get them done and not take too long. So I've got all my pieces here. So this designer series paper is from the Designer Daydream, and it's a host paper in the annual catalogue. So it's, see if I can show you really quickly. It's way in the back. Oh, and here it is. So page 179 of the annual catalogue. And these are all the designs. You can't see them that well, but if you go online and look at Designer Daydream, you can see them all. So it's a $30 value because it's one of those big stacks. You get 48 sheets, you get 12 different designs, and this is wrong here. It says 12 sheets, but it's actually 48 sheets. Because I see it, I've got a big, so it's 48 sheets, and then I think it's 4 of 12 different designs or something. This isn't right, the description. But anyway, it's a $30 value, and you can only purchase it with rewards. So you have to spend $150 to be able to get or collect orders of $150 from your friends to get this. And then you can purchase it for $18 of your rewards. But it's a $30 value. So I hope that makes sense and I haven't completely confused you. So that's the paper. And then I've got 4 different card bases. So I'm using Old Olive, Daffodil Delight, Petal Pink, and Pool Party, which are 4 of the colors. So let's match these up. So I had them kind of tone on tone to a certain extent, and you could mix and match however you like, and they are double-sided. You see I stamped them, put dimensionals on the back already just to save a little bit of time, but you could definitely use this one on here, and this one would work on here. So you could definitely mix and match however you like, but I'm going to stick to how I did it with the original ones. So, and I'll put all the measurements. There'll be, if you get a kit, you'll get a PDF from me too with all the measurements and the directions. I'll email that to you. So I've got 4 of these pieces of basic white cardstock, 1 for each. I've got a couple extra. And I designed these, the size of these is, it's 4 by 3 5/8, and you can get 6 pieces from 1 sheet of cardstock with very little waste. So I'll pop these underneath like that. I'm not going to stick them yet until I've done my stamping. So I have a couple extra in case I make a mistake. So then the first thing I'm going to do is for each one I'm going to line up this how I want it. Now the circle may not, you need to do it like this because the circle may not be cut in exactly the same place in each piece of Designer Series paper. I did 2 at a time because they're thinner than cardstock. You can run 2 through your die cut machine at one time, but they may not be exactly the same. So I would suggest you do this with each one so that it's centered properly. So I'm going to just line this up so that my cardstock is kind of centered and this is pretty much centered, and then I'm just going to draw a little bit of a circle around. I'm going to do that on each one quickly, and that way I can see where I need to stamp my image, and then I can just erase the pencil lines. Whoops. And it doesn't have to be, normally I wouldn't have the dimensionals on the back, so it would be slightly easier, but I was trying to think of what I could do ahead to save a little bit of time so I could get all 4 cards finished. So they're a bit bumpy. So do any of you have this stamp set yet? Oops. It's cute. So one thing I wanted to point out too, and I'll show you a few others that are same, is this stamp set actually comes in cling or photopolymer. You have the choice. Now once this is done, I can grab all my stamps. So let's make sure I do the right one on the right piece. So this one is going to be this stamp set, the two geese doing the goosebumps, the cute goosebumps. So now I can just put these pieces to one side and stamp my, let's get my ink. So I'm using black Memento ink, and because these are quite large stamps, I find it easier to have my stamps like this and then take the ink pad to the stamp. And because our Memento ink is a different type of ink pad from our colored ones, it's more canvasy. It's not, but you can see it's not foam and squishy like our colored ones. So you can be quite firm, and I just like to kind of slide it around and make sure I get a really good coverage. And I like doing it this way because you can actually see that you've got good coverage. Now this stamp is a little big for the circles, so I'm just going to, and actually I think I'm going to just stand up to do these. So you're just going to line it up. Let's see, let me look at how I did the other one. Okay, I want to make sure that both the heads are going to stay in the circle. You probably can't see the circle at this point, but so that's the little geese. I could have done it a little bit higher, but that's okay, and I'll keep that one with that one. Now I'm going to grab my thanks one. I've got them all mounted. So most of them fit on this block, which is a D block, but this one is a little bit large. You can do it at an angle if you're just fit it in, but if you have this larger block, it's a little easier. And this is which is this one? This is an F block. They have the letters on the side. So let's do this one, the thanks one. So if you do it all like this kind of production style, it goes quite quickly. And for the circles, I used I'll show you what I used. I used the Stylish Shape dies. Which goose do I have? Oh, I have the birthday one in this. So again, this goose, make sure you have your white piece going the right direction. This goose is a little bit big, a little tall to fit in. The other one was a little wide, this one's a little tall. So again, just inking up. So I want to make sure that I get the balloon, the birthday balloon, in. And so do it like that. And then if a bit of him is covered up, it's fine. And then the last one is the goose that's in a little floating, we call it a rubber ring in England. What do you call it here? I know it. If you call it a rubber ring, that's what we call it. There's a cute little frog sitting on there too. Right, so that's all the stamping for the goose images. So now I'm going to go back to the first one just so that I make sure that one's really dry. Now we can erase all the lines and stick the pencil lines. Grab my eraser and stick the white piece. Actually, we'll do the colouring first. So actually I can take these all and we'll do all the colouring at once. There's only a little bit of colouring on these because I left the geese white and I stuck to the same blends colours as the cardstock. You'll see what I mean. So I kept it pretty simple so that I didn't use too many different products. And yeah, the paper's pretty, isn't it, Christine? I like it. Or you're talking about the paper that I showed, the new paper, I bet, not this paper. Okay, so that's all that erased. And let me grab my blends here. So I've got my blends. Let's not do that because it makes a shadow. And I'm going to grab something, pack of grid paper, just to put this underneath so that I don't get blends, because you know the blends bleed through a little bit, so I don't want to get them on my desk. Let me zoom in just a touch here. There we go. I can zoom out again when I assemble them so that you can see the coloring. So I've got just the same colors that I use as the card bases, just to keep it simple and to keep everything kind of matching. The only thing I've added is grey granite light. On a couple of the cards I added like a little bit of kind of like shadow under the geese, so they're not just kind of hanging out there in the middle of the air. Hi Kathleen. Yeah, it is a cute set, isn't it, for any occasion. Hi Marsky. Nice to see from Alberta, Canada. Wow. How's the weather up there? I bet it's cold and snowy. All right, so for this one, I'm just looking how I did my other one. I'll just do it the same to keep it simple. So I'm going to use some Pool Party on the balloon, and how I did it was I used the Pool Party dark, and I just kind of went and did these kind of shaded parts in the dark, and then I just filled in with the light and just kind of blended that in, and I went all the way around, and then I kind of left a light, just went really quick over that and left a light patch in the middle, so that looks like there's a lighter area. And then we'll do his beak. In fact, let's do all of their beaks together and their feet together, and that way that'll save a little bit of time. So Daffodil Delight Dark for their beaks and their feet. Now they're maybe a bit more orange in real life, but I didn't want to incorporate another color. So let's just do all their feet and beaks. And like I say, the coloring on these is super easy because you can leave the goose white. You could put some shading in if you wanted, but I'm going for quick and easy coloring on these cards. So if you don't have the Goose stamp set and you want to get this kit, you could get the Goose stamp set. I think it's $25, and then you could maybe get a set of the blends. But you could also use your whatever blends you have, or you could use the Stampin' Right markers, the watercolor markers. But just remember, if you're using the Memento ink, to be really careful because it can react. You could use a different ink that stays on. And I'll have the circles, I'll have everything cut, I'll have the circles die cut for you. All right, so that's that one, all the beaks and the feet done. And then let's do the little granite grey part. Now there is I realized afterwards, there is a little stamp for grass. And I forgot to do that, but you could add that if you wanted in maybe Old Olive. But what I did is I just took grey granite light, and then with the brush tip, I just kind of do a little bit of a, oops, my brush tip is not in very good shape. You just do a little bit like that, just to look like there's a little bit of shadow. I feel like that kind of grounds it. So let's see, we need to do this one, although this one I think the feet are not going to really show. I think they're kind of off the bottom of the circle, but we'll just do it just in case. So super easy. And this one, I think this one's feet are not going to show. So I'm not going to worry about that one. And of course the other one's in the ring. So that's the grey granite. And then we just need to finish the hat. So I'll just do maybe Old Olive and yellow. Daffodil Delight. So let's do Daffodil Delight. And then a little bit of Old Olive. Oops. Let's do the light one. That one's done. Let's see, this one is done. This one needs a bit more coloring. I'm going to do the little frog. I don't know, should I do his eyes or leave? I guess I'll leave them. And then on this one, let's see how I did that one. Pull in my original one there. So I did let's see, I did some Pool Party Light. Actually, what I think I did was I did dark for the little waves. Again, you could do some more kind of elaborate coloring, but I was just keeping it pretty simple. Or maybe do dark for the little dots. And the rubber ring. You could bring in Blackberry Bliss. That's another color. That's on this one. I did Blackberry Bliss here, and these lines are Blackberry Bliss. So you could bring in that color too, which would, if you wanted a little darker. And then let's see, petal. Oh, and Balmy Blue, not the Balmy Blue, Pool Party. Just do a little bit of blending there. And petal pink for the ring. My petal pink, I think, needs replacing. Oh, this end is a bit better. My brush tip's a bit dry. Again, just really quick coloring. All right, bye Kathleen. See you later. I'll do the flower yellow and this flower yellow. We'll do the hat pink. It's a bit hard to tell. The pink and the yellow, they're quite light, so it's a little bit hard to distinguish one from the other, but that's okay. And then I'm just going to do a little bit of Old Olive for the leaves. And that's it. So I think that's all the colouring done. So pretty easy. Now let's do the assembly. All right, so let's grab, this one is the birthday one. So let's grab my Stampin' seal. This together. And then we'll do all the designer series paper at one time. This is the Goosebumps. And this one is this one. And oh, I forgot to colour in the banner. Let me just do that quick. So I did that with Pool Party Light and let's see, Petal Pink. light, I think. Let me find that one. Where is it? So I think I did that pool party light along the bottom. And then I just blended it with Petal Pink light. Sorry, I'm off screen a little bit. Yeah, easy, easy peasy. Right, let's take this one. Let me zoom back out just a touch. There we go. All right, now we can put all the fronts on. So if it doesn't line up perfectly, it's fine, and make sure that you didn't like flip it around. I mean, actually both ways are fine with this one. And I already put the dimensionals on the back. I just got to pull off the, just trying to save a little bit of time so that you didn't have to watch me put dimensionals. And you can see I did use quite a few dimensionals because I don't want any sagging. So, and then you can just line it up. There's one. And then the blue one. You could, if you wanted, you could do them this way too. That would be cute to do some of them landscape, wouldn't it? So with your kit, you could for sure do that if you prefer your cards to be landscape. I didn't think about that when I was making them, just thought about it. Let's see, I've covered up my comments here. All right. Let's see, do I have them all? Yep. So here's this one. And this one goes on here. And I've already stamped and embossed the sentiments, you'll be happy to know. Could have done this one just a touch higher, but that's fine. And then the last one is the Goosebumps. This is pretty, this side, isn't it? Some of them were just a little bit busy, I felt. I liked the ones that were just a little bit more subtle, but you could definitely flip them over and use the other side. All right, and this is the last one. I've got a little bit. Here we go. So that's all of those. Then the last thing to do is to put the sentiments on them. I've got those all done except for one because I wanted to show you something that I did. Let's see. So the dies that I used were these stylish shapes. So I used this second to largest circle to cut out the circle, and then I used these two skinny banners for the sentiments. But this one was a little bit long for some of them. I didn't care for, I tried this bigger one of these two and it was a bit too tall. I wanted a skinny one. So, so this one is, you can see, is that one. And then this one is this little one here. But for this one, and also the black one, this one wasn't quite long enough, but this was too long. So I'll show you what I did, how you can adapt your dies. Thanks, Arnetta. Yeah, aren't these cute? So let me grab my baby boss, my little blue baby boss. I'll zoom out just a touch more. And what you can do, let's see which is the light going to be best this way maybe. Got my plates ready to go. So let me grab this one. So I'm going to line it up first with just how I want it one end and run it through. And then, now that's too long, right? So then what I can do is I can line it back up and you can kind of lock it into place. If you turn it over, so let's see where I would show you up here. So I want it about like this. So I can flip it over and make sure it's kind of locked up in place. And you can actually run it through this way if you like. And that way you can really see that it's staying put. And then you can run it back through again. I'm sure some of you have done this. And I'm not going to run it all the way because that end stitching part gets a little flattened. But there you have your perfect die cut, which is the perfect size. So you can always do that with your regular shaped dies. It's fairly easy to do that if it's not exactly the same. Exactly, and you can make it longer too. You can do the reverse and make them longer. So I just thought I'd show you on one of them. So, zoom back in a bit. So let's put these on quickly. So I didn't put dimensionals on these. Hi Anna. How are you? She's a local. So I'm going to put some little minis on here. And so if you're on my email list, you would have got an email from me this morning probably about these cards and how you can get them free. If you're not on my email list, be sure to just comment in the comments and I can add you. And I usually put on my posts like something like don't miss a thing, stay in touch with me here, and if you click on that you can be added to my email list. So let's just put these on, and you can put them wherever you like, in the middle, you know, off to that side, off to this side. And this one is the Blackberry Bliss. So I just stamped and embossed these with white. I think I did them all white except for the pool party one. I did that in black, but I did that ahead of time. Let's put this one in the middle as it's longer. So I was mentioning earlier that this stamp set actually comes in photopolymer or cling, and as you saw, I got the cling stamps, and I kind of wished I'd got the photopolymer because for stamping these little sentiments things, it's easier. You can see through them clearer. Now, the cling stamps, the red rubber cling stamps, tend to be a little bit of a better quality in terms of the image you get, but I think it's really hard to tell. So just keep that in mind. If you're placing an order to get this kit, keep in mind that you can choose either, and I'm going to show you in the catalogue real quick. So I'm going to die cut these and send them to you, but I'll probably put some scraps in too, so that if you want to stamp and die cut with something different, you can. Because if you have the cling set, it's tricky if this is already die cut to line it up. So I'm going to kind of give you options, but just want you to know that if you do want, if you're ordering this, then let's see, middle this way, let's do this way. Then think about which type of set you want. So let me show you really quick in the catalogue. There's a few stamp sets that are like this, and nobody noticed to start with. Then people started to talk about, hey, did you see? So this one, Lighting the Way, this is the mini catalogue, page 18. You can see here that there's two order numbers, and it actually says cling or photopolymer. I don't know if you can see that. And there's a C for cling and a P for photopolymer. And then there's a couple of others. There's this one, Fragrant Flowers. I've got little dimensional backings that are going everywhere because I didn't put them in the trash yet. This one comes in both. Bye, Christine. Oh, that's my sister in England. She's leaving. So here's the Silly Goose one. So you can see it's in both. And it's $25. It's the same for each. So you can just choose which you want. And then this is the other one too. There might be one other that I missed, but I think this is it. So Around the Bend on page 35, this also comes in both. And actually, I think photopolymer would be really good for this because you could literally bend these to whatever shape you wanted. And you can do that to a certain extent with the cling stamps, but with the photopolymer, it's much easier. So I don't have this one, but I think if I was going to get it, I would definitely get photopolymer. And I think if there's a lot of sentiments, I think photopolymer is the way to go because it's just easier to line them up straight. All right, so I want to tell you a couple of other things. I want to show you how I did I won't do it on all of them, but I'll show you how I did the bows. So I used this Baker's Twine Essential Pack, and it comes in 5 different colors. So you can choose, if you can get it open, you can choose which one. So I did white. I did white on this one, but I did this kind of grey colour on the others, but you can choose which one you like. Thank you, Denise. I'm glad you like them. So I'll just tie a quick bow. Make it a little bit smaller. And then just going to stick it onto a glue dot. Wow, this must be a really old roll of glue dots because they're on the new ones now. This glue dot is on this part. Let me pick it out with my scissors. And then you can just kind of poke it in underneath like that. And then you can kind of adjust it a little bit. But yeah, that's how I did that. So super easy. So you can do that on each one. And then I was in a bit of a dilemma for the insides because if I show you the stamp set again, there's not really any other images to do. And there is a coordinating sentiment for inside, except for on this one. We've got thanks here, and then we've got sending a big honking thanks, and then there's not another thanks sentiment. So you could put this one inside if you wanted. But what I did, because I had those circles, so let me show you on the ones I finished here, what I ended up doing on the inside. You can tell me whether you like it or not. But I put, the circles that I had left over, I cut them up and I started playing around what I could do with them on the inside because the sentiment's very small too. So I thought, what am I going to do inside to fill up all that white space? So on this one, I cut the circle into 4 and arranged it like that. And I just did something different in each card. So I don't know what you think, if you like that or if you think, but I'll include I'll include the circles with yours, and you can decide if you want to do that or not. So the thanks I left blank because, like I say, there's not really a matching stamp set to go with that, and that's what I did inside there. And then this one I cut them into 4 and did them in the 4 corners. And then this one was the first one I did, and I just cut them into 2. So I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you like that? Would you do that or not? It's just, like I say, the stamp set was, the sentiment was small, and I was trying to figure out how to use up some of that white space. And then I finished them off with these embellishments, the iridescent pastel gems. If you look at my, oh thanks Denise, if you look at my pictures that I put in the email this morning, I had rhinestones on them, and then I changed my mind and decided to use these because the colours go quite well. And I wanted to give you, as my free gift with $50, I wanted to give something other than rhinestones. So I switched to these. So let me know what you think. Thank you for all the good feedback. Let me know if you like these and if you would make them. And my host code is up the top there, and I'll put all the information underneath too, of how to place your order. And then if it's $35, you'll get the card kit. There won't be any stamping because that's per Stampin' Up policy. We can't do any of the stamping, but you'll have all the pieces that you need. Everything will be die cut for you, and you can order the Silly Goose stamp set if you don't have it, or you can use something that you already have. And then if your order's $50, you'll get the kit and a full pack of these also, and these are $8. So that's a good deal. So please share, like and share this the video. Please share it with your friends, especially ones you think might look like these cards. And yeah, so thank you all for tuning in with me today. I'll be back next week with a new project, maybe with some of the new online exclusive products. And thanks so much for joining me. It was great hanging out with you all today, and I hope you have a lovely rest of the day, and I will see you soon. Or let me come back and say goodbye in person here. Turn this on. I always forget to do that. So anyway, yes, thank you so much for joining me. Have a great rest of the day, and drop me a comment if you have any questions or if you'd like to be added to my email list. And I'll see you all soon. Bye for now.